in that half?
Overall? Actually, I think you're right. Yeah. I think overall, I think it's fair to say, I think Kasper set up the team very well. A little tweak, so from the 5-3-2 in the first game to more 5-4-1, so Eriksen is more to the left and Vind is dropping down, so I think that's set up well. And then also, when they're dominating on the ball, they have good positions. So, pleased with the first half.
All these England players, with the exception of Kane, are used to playing high press, attacking, getting in the opposition's half. When they play with England, all of a sudden it's a completely different setup, and it's baffling, isn't it?
It is baffling, and it's concerning, I would say. I think we've got a couple of examples here that I'd like to show. When you're passive, it doesn't matter who you are, what level of player you are, teams will play out and play around you. You have to be aggressive in the way that you press and you try and go up against teams. This is international football. So when you're going to go and press, you have to go with a little bit more
set up. They want to press, and they've got the players to press. But Harry Kane is so good at scoring goals, and his record is unbelievable. And when his goal comes, you're thinking, OK.
I'd be going mad. I'd be screaming. I couldn't have my centre forward not filling in with the workload that the other players are putting in. I need to see that intensity at some point. Put their centre halves under pressure that I'm receiving as an England defender.
But the reason he's in there is that
he's done the job with Saka. Walker comes in, and then this is what he's great at. In the box, he comes alive. This is what he does, and that's why we rave about him so much. Brilliant from Walker there, just anticipating the move, and then gets a little bit fortunate with the cutback.
Being lucky, Michael, can't you? You could say, it's lucky, but he
knows where to be.
He's always there, and it always falls to him. So it can't. It's just he has an understanding of where that ball's going to be. It's a magnet.
He's a brilliant finisher,
and he's brilliant at that. And that's the thing. That's the problem for a manager in Southgate. Portugal probably have it with Cristiano Ronaldo as well. There's certain things that you want. You can't have it all. No. But what he does is the hardest thing in the game, which is to put the ball in the back of the net.
Absolutely. Denmark equalised. Over to you for this one, Thomas.
Thank you very much, Gary.
What a goal. 13th goal from outside the box.
Yeah, exactly. And I've said don't finish outside the box, but yes, if you do it like Morten Hjulmand here, then it's fantastic. What a strike. He hit it so clean. So fantastic goal in so many ways.
But again, Harry Kane, and we're not picking on Harry Kane, but the fact that he's so deep, OK, he wants to get involved, but it's when you...
He understands there are 10 players behind the ball. It's a fantastic strike.
It's one in a million. It's an unbelievable strike.
It's 1 in a million.
1 in a million. 1 in a million.
Thomas was celebrating like he'd never known it. No class.
Quite right as well. We've seen glimpses of Phil Foden. And generally, when he's come inside, he's looked sharp and he's looked a threat, and he had one decent effort.
Yeah, he's been better, and this is what we was talking about before the game, on the ball, when he gets into these little pockets here, little chop, and then as he goes to kick it, he just bounces up for him. But this is what we need more of. I feel like he's been a bit more dominant, asking for the ball a lot more, and if we can get him into these areas here, then we can score goals in that second.
Outside of the goal has been him in these central areas. If you don't realise now, Mr. Southgate, that this is where he should be playing, it will never happen. But he gives us a sense of rhythm, a bit of control. He gives us that little bit of belief and that confidence in middle areas where it gets tight.
But you can see all three situations in the middle of the pitch. So it's clearly he got that free roll. He can drift and he can be on the ball where he wants. And when he finds the right areas, he can create great opportunities.
Denmark's press has been far superior, and I think there's one moment that you've picked out that sums it up for you.
Yeah, I just think that this is... I think it's a fantastic situation to press from. Everything is set from a goal kick, and if you're aggressive there, it's difficult to get out of. And one ball up, England's not getting on top of it, Denmark is landing on it, boom, then you're up there. In control, you can pass it, you can move it, find the position. They want to have the 3-2 build-up, 2 wing-backs, 3 on the last line. So then they find the control there.
Yeah, I mean, it's very unusual in the modern era to see a pitch that cuts up. I mean, like a bowling green compared to the pitch I played on. But I mean, it is cutting up quite considerably.
No, and Carl Walker's had to change his boots after 10 minutes, like because the pitches, everyone's slipping and sliding. You think that some of them have got roller skates on, but it does happen sometimes. You just got to deal with it. Both teams have got the same problem.
It can unsettle you though, because when you're used to playing in moulded studs and then you go into the proper studs, but it's just when the pitch is like that, it's no good for the players because you're worried about the injuries, but they've got to get on with it in that second half.
Can we get the groundsman's name and just highlight it? Just to...
It's from Man United.
Why's he going there? Why's he doing that?
I've no idea. I've no idea.
Exactly.
I think we've got a graphic of the average positions of the England players before the goal and post the goal. That's before. Obviously, even that's still quite deep, but then it dropped.
Many games you can go to where we score and we set back, especially against teams that are considered like top teams around. No disrespect to Denmark, but we're doing it against Serbia and Denmark. That's the baffling thing.
Inviting pressure.
Yeah.
Constantly inviting pressure. And I know England's defensive record has been good of the past, but we've got a different variety of players now who can keep the ball. That's the difference.
Play to your strengths, not your weaknesses. Drama, tension, and high stakes. But enough about the football. Here's what's on iPlayer.
In the second half of the same, and England drop off deeper, I would look to bring on Watkins.
For
Harry Kane.
Yeah.
I know he scored his goal. I know how important he is to this England side, but in terms of stretching the team, getting up the pitch, some of that pace is needed, maybe even Gordon as well.
Yeah. I'd go definitely the same. I think you've got 3 centre-halves and you've got a striker coming back to the ball. It doesn't make sense. You've got to have someone running in behind. Kane can do it. I've seen him do it. But you just need to be able to and play the ball in there.
Why is he not doing it? Why is he dropping really deep? Why is he not pressing? I mean, is it...
Because getting frustrated.
Is it not instructions from the manager?
If you watch Harry Kane's game for how long, the last couple of years, that's what he does.
Now,
that's what he does.
It's pretty static.
But they've got other players who now can do that role, who can play them threaded balls. He needs to stay high.
There is a role for... There's no denying there's a role for him to play, and he's definitely a main player in this team, but you've got to be able to, I think, as a manager, maybe